Hi everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I want to share what I think is the best method for converting a color photo to a black and white image. Let's start with the various methods of converting an image to black and white. Here, I have a test color wheel on which I will apply all the methods. It will give us an indication how well the method works. First, let's start with an HSL conversion. We will set the saturation to 0. Quite flat and no contrast. So the next common method is using a black and white adjustment. Let us apply it without any fine-tuning on the colors. That looks a bit white, doesn't it? Let's try that again, but now with some optimized settings. I have the optimized settings saved as a preset, so I will apply it from the adjustments panel. That looks so much better. Let's continue with a black and white gradient adjustment. For this, I also have a preset. As you can see, it just goes from black to white. The black and white result is actually really good. The next method used to be my favorite method and uses a procedural function. As I was using this frequently, I have a preset for the formula. I will put the used formula in the description if you're interested. This is, in my honest opinion, the best method to convert an image to black and white. However, I have found a new method which is now my favorite. And I'm surprised that I have not seen anyone mention this method earlier. It is super easy to apply and the results are exactly the same as my procedural method. We just apply a channel mixer adjustment and set the output channel of the adjustment to grayscale. Look at that, a perfect conversion. Before I explain why this has become my favorite method, let's compare all these methods with an actual image to see the differences better. Our test image will be this colorful photo of roses. I have no idea whether these are real roses, but if they are, they look pretty awesome. Anyway, let's go step by step and see how the different methods affect the photo. The HSL, as expected, very flat. Now the black and white with default settings, too bright, just like with the color wheel. The black and white optimized, looking much better already. The black and white gradient looks similar to the previous method, but I feel it's a little bit better. The procedural method, the best so far. It has the most natural contrast. Let's quickly compare it with the gradient. Well, I feel it's definitely better. And as last, the channel mixer. As you can see, as I mentioned earlier, no difference with the procedural method. Basically, the channel mixer method is applying the same formula, but it is easier to apply, and as I will show in a minute, it has some other advantages. So let's try to use the channel mixer method on a photo and see what else we can do. Here is a quite challenging image. Let's first apply a gradient conversion. Looks good. Now let's apply the channel mixer. Also looking good and pretty similar to the black and white gradient. Let me put it next to it. I feel that the channel mixer version has a bit more contrast already. But now comes the cool part. And this is why I like this method over the procedural method. In the channel mixer, we can adjust the intensity, the alpha and the offset, which gives you control on how the conversion is applied. The procedural method only does the conversion and you would require additional adjustment layers to control the end result. Let me adjust the controls until I get this very nice contrasty image, so the sunlight at the center of the image gets more attention. Let's quickly compare it with the color version. What I'm missing in the black and white version is the power of the sun and the shine around the hairs. We can play with the colors to fine-tune the conversion. Let me add a selective color adjustment. As I play around with the values, the image reacts to it. I want to get that really contrasty image. Okay, this looks pretty cool. To go a step further in the fine-tuning, we can also add a color balance, which will allow us to control the shadows and the highlights. This is pretty awesome. I still miss the glow in the hair, so let me add a curves layer to lighten things up and invert its mask. With a soft and low flow brush, I will paint with white around the hair to bring some glow to it. If I now apply a blend range adjustment, I can make sure that only the light areas are affected. Pretty amazing. I think my job is done now. Thanks for watching, and I hope you liked this video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe.